Page 30. Government of Palestine. District Commissioner's Officer. Jerusalem District. Jerusalem. Number JDS/1/212. February 26, 1948. Sir, I have the honor to refer to your letter number JWS/1/7/4 dated the 11th of February 1948, concerning the guarding of the Latroun and Ras El Ain pumping stations of the Jerusalem water supply, and to inform you that it has been ruled by higher authority that the present guard arrangements at the Latroun station must continue for the time being. As regards the Ras El Ain station, I have inquired from the District Commissioner, Lida, what action he now proposes to take in view of the circumstances mentioned in paragraph 3 of your letter, and the clear intention of government that the supply of water to Jerusalem must of course continue. I have the honor to be your worship's obedient servant, Sjd Lda Baron. For District Commissioner, His Worship, the Chairman, Municipal Commission. Page 31. Very urgent. March 2, 1948. District Commissioner, Jerusalem District, Jerusalem. Sir, as already reported to Mr. Hilton by telephone, I have today received information from the water manager and Mr. Berg, engineer in charge of the Jerusalem water supply installations, that a very serious state of affairs now prevails at Ras El Ain. 2 camps, controlling the water supply station and the railway station, which until recently were occupied by the British Army, were occupied by some 300 well-armed Arabs, some of whom are said to be Iraqi volunteers, on February 26. These persons have been interfering with the coming and going of employees of the water supply station, and on February 29 an urgent call came from Ras El Ain, reporting that the station was dangerous and asking that measures should be taken to maintain traffic and supplies to the station. This morning, March 2, a telephone call was received from Petah Tikva, reporting that at dawn today there was heavy shooting round the station, and that the British OC of the detachment at the station had told the station engineer and the sergeant in charge Jewish police that in his opinion the situation was serious, and that he could not guarantee to protect them. In consequence, the Jewish police and the Jewish staff have left the station. This raises serious complications. Mr. Berg considers that the Arab staff are unable to carry on by themselves. All workshop repairs are now done in Tel Aviv, and all materials for maintenance have to be got from that place. Repairs are constantly needed, and there is an unceasing need for materials. It is essential that there should be a first-class electrician at Ras El Ain. The chief electrician is a Jew and he has gone. In his absence, the switching over from direct to alternating current and other technical adjustments will not be carried out efficiently, and this may cause a stoppage of the water supply. If left alone, it is quite likely that the Arab staff may also leave. This is a matter of great gravity, and I trust that you will be able to persuade the security authorities to take immediate action to restore the status quo. I do not know if the Iraqi troops are open to peaceful persuasion, probably not. If not, they should be evicted by force, but preferably British force. If the Haganah won a battle here, there might be trouble between the Jewish and Arab employees. It is considered absolutely essential that the Jewish and Arab staff should continue to work together in this station, and that Ras El Ain should be kept in contact with the outside world. I have the honor to be etc. R. M. Graves. Page 32. Note: on March 3, 48 I met Mr. Fuller, D.C. Lida District, at the Secretariat. Mr. Hilton was also present. Mr. Fuller confirmed Mr. Berg's information but added to it. He stated that there were now 600 well-armed Iraqi troops established in a laundry near the entrance to the Ras El Ain WS station. They have refused to move and couldn't be evicted without considerable bloodshed. Security forces are not inclined to drive them out by force, and the Haganah probably could not do so. As long as there are any of these people in the neighborhood, it is unlikely that the Jewish staff will return to Ras El Ain. The Arab staff say that they can run the installation by themselves. It was suggested that Mr. Crook should be asked to go to Ras El Ain and report whether the Arabs could or could not do the work. He declined to go, saying that the journey was unnecessary, and that without going he already knew that the Arabs could not manage by themselves. The only solution now is to obtain technical assistance from the army, and Mr. Hilton and the DC are now going into the matter. Sjd R. M. Graves. April 3, 48. Page 33. Very urgent. March 6, 1948. District Commissioner, Lida District. Sir, you are undoubtedly aware of the recent occupation of the WD camp near Ras El Ain railway station by an armed Arab force and the consequent evacuation of the TAP detachment with all the skilled Jewish staff from the Ras El Ain pumping station. 2. Pending desirable action which will probably have to be taken to restore the status quo, i.e. Arab and Jewish staff working together at the pumping station. I have made temporary arrangements whereby the duties of the Jewish staff will be carried out by staff from the other pumping stations in order to meet the present emergency. 3. Manufacture of essential spare parts which cannot be obtained from UK and workshop repairs are now done in Tel Aviv. Also tools and other materials required for the maintenance of the whole plant of the JWS and Ain Farah water supply service have to be obtained from there. 4. It is essential that a suitable arrangement be made to create a transport service between Petah Tikva and Ras El Ain pumping station. A suitable arrangement may be such that the Army detachment, at present at Ras El Ain pumping station, should meet a Petah Tikva police car at a point where the Haifa Lida Road meets the Petah Tikva Ras El Ain Road once or twice a day to enable the exchanging of materials. 5. This is a matter of a very serious nature, and unless the required transport is arranged, a complete shutdown of the JWS service may be expected. I shall, therefore, very much appreciate if you could see your way to assist in bringing about the above proposal. I have the honor to be, Sir, your obedient servant, SGD, Chairman, Municipal Commission. P.S. I understand from Brigadier Kirkman that the Arab force now occupying the former WD camp is not inclined to molest the staff at Ras El Ain or attack the plant. Brigadier Kirkman says they are prepared to guarantee the safety of Jewish staff brought into the station by military escort. Page 34. Government of Palestine. Number S/22/4/44. District Commissioner's Offices. Lida District. Jaffa. March 13, 1948. R. M. Graves Esq, Chairman, Municipal Commission, Jerusalem. Dear Mr. Graves, Fuller left for local leave in Syria, immediately after receiving your personal note and official letter of the March 6th on the subject of Ras El Ain pumping station. I passed this pumping station yesterday, and I am able to assure you that everything is quite quiet, and that there seems no likelihood of Arab-Jewish clashes. Fuller has already written to Brigadier Maxwell of South Pal Command, asking for Royal Engineers' assistance, should this be necessary, and I know that Brigadier Poole will do all that he is able to facilitate the proper maintenance and repairs if necessary of this station. Fuller will no doubt reply to you more fully when he returns from local leave. We have just met at a GH reception. Yours sincerely, L.T. Stevenson. Page 35. British official asks Arab leaders to assure invaders would be unobtrusive. CS 749. 6 of 3. Top secret. To D.C. Jerusalem. I am directed to inform you that the Central Security Committee discussed at its last meeting the increasing freedom with which armed Syrians and other members of the Arab Liberation Army appear and congregate in public places and thoroughfares in and near Jerusalem. It is the opinion of the committee that this development greatly increases the risk of clashes taking place between these persons and the security forces, and I am to request that you will take whatever steps are possible to bring this danger to the notice of Arab leaders, who would be well advised to secure that the foreign soldiers remain as unobtrusive as possible. E.D. Horn. 4 CS. Copy to all DC. LG. C of S. Page 36. British intelligence discloses invading tactics. Secret. HSD/220/G int. January 21, 48. North Palestine District. Intelligence Summary Number 5 based on information received up to January 15, 48. Some of the following information has not yet been confirmed. 1. Arabs Affairs External. A. First course of approximately 300 students passed out of a training school in guerrilla warfare at Katana near Damascus. These students, now in Palestine, are being used as organizers and instructors. The second course of approximately 700 is expected, on passing out, to enter Palestine with an operational role. B. On or about December 28, 47 approximately 600 Egyptian soldiers, with their officers arrived at Damascus to join the Arab army. C. Palestine recruits are also being trained at Adana Mill Camp. They are not given any rank on completion of the course, for fear of arousing jealousy and discontent. They are, however, given paybooks which contain the course results. D. Fawzi Khokji is generally believed to be the leader of the Syrian and Transjordan Arab Volunteer Force, loosely known as the Palestine Liberation Army. His HQ for operations in the Hula area is reported as being at Banias 215214, just inside Syria. He has visited Arab notables in the Nablus area on several occasions. E. A reliable source states the Syrian army officers are preparing for skirmishes on the Palestine border. The Syrian government would later apologize to HMG on the grounds of youth and irresponsibility. Some 500 volunteers, it is reported, are concentrating in the Homs area. Several Syrian army officers have given permission to resign their commissions and have joined the irregulars. It is thought that a lively performance will be given on the word go. F. Small parties of gunmen have infiltrated into Palestine from Syria and the Lebanon. Their main job is to protect Arab villages and Arab quarters in the towns. Amongst them are Abdul Qadir Hussein, leader of the clandestine Arab National Guard, and Sheikh Hassan Salameh, ex-Nazi parachutist and expert saboteur, who are now commanding the Arab underground forces in the Jaffa area. G. Haifa police report that 200 partly trained men arrived in Haifa from Syria and are being billeted at HQ Itism Society. They will be used for the defense of Arab quarters in the town, assisted by the Itism Society. Amongst the party are bomb experts and street fighters, mainly volunteers from the neighboring countries, but also include Turkish and German ex-prisoners of war. They will carry out reprisals against the Jewish bomb outrages, which are anticipated in the near future. H. Reports from the TJFF and police state that approximately 200 members of the Palestine Liberation Army are entering Palestine about every 3 weeks. Their intention is to concentrate in the Safed and Acre sub-districts near the frontier. Reports state that the last party crossed the frontier on January 7th and that the rest, which may be as large as 600, is expected within the next few weeks. All that have come over so far are concentrated in Tarshiha 175,268 and Sumida 178,267, with a detachment at Al Bassa of approximately 200. The Tarshiha band of approximately 600 is said to be commanded by a German officer, the Samida band of about 400 by a Turk. Page 37. British say invaders are stabilizing. Secret. HQ Palestine. Tel 4651, extension 169. GSIM 1. February 13, 48. Fortnightly Intelligence Newsletter Number 61. Issued by HQ British Troops in Palestine. For the period 2,359 hours January 28, 2,359 hours February 11, 48. Part 1 Current Affairs. Part 2 House of Lords Debate January 20th. General. 1. The Arab invaders in northern Palestine are comparatively well disciplined, and at least in the Nablus-Jenin-Tulkarm triangle appear to exert a considerable stabilizing influence. There is as yet no evidence of any intention on their part to undertake any acts of aggression in the immediate future. Reports indicate that their present role is one of security, while the national committees are left to deal with the administration of these areas. The position in the Jerusalem and Jaffa areas, however, is different because here the Husseinis' influence is predominant and their representatives, such as Abdul Qadir Husseini and Hassan Salami, are low-grade thugs with no interest in the maintenance of peace. In Nablus itself, the good behavior of the Arab invaders is having a stabilizing effect on the untrained and excitable Palestinians. A complaint was made to them recently that a lorry load of wheat had been stolen and 20 robbed from the driver. In a very short time, the lorry and load had been returned, and also the 20, together with a further 60, which it was explained was the fine imposed on the thief. A local villager, a spectator to this transaction, became a little vociferous. 2 hours later he was dead. For Arab train robbers have recently been dispatched to Syria by Fawzi Khokji's men for execution. Page 38. Arab invaders instructed not to aggravate British. Secret. HQ Palestine. Tel 4651, extension 169. GSIM 1. February 13, 48. Fortnightly Intelligence Newsletter Number 61. issued by HQ British troops in Palestine. For the period 2,359 hours January 28, 2,359 hours February 11, 48. More and more Arab irregulars have crossed the Syrian and Lebanese borders and moved into villages in the Safed area and the Galilee Hills. Although to avoid being involved with British troops, in fact, they have orders to surrender rather than fight their way out, if challenged by British troops. The Arab leaders are anxious not to aggravate the British in any way, but the question is whether so many men, possibly 10,000 of them at present in this country, with their bitter hatred of the Jews and their excitable character, whose sole raison d'etre is the killing of Jews, can be held themselves in check until the British have quitted. Secret. HQ Palestine. Tel 4651, extension 169. GSIM 1. March 12, 48. Fortnightly Intelligence Newsletter Number 63. Issued by HQ British troops in Palestine. For the period 2,359 hours February 25, 2,359 hours March 10, 48. 18. On 3 different occasions, the GOC's car and escort were attacked in the vicinity of Bab el-Wad, on the Jerusalem-Jaffa road. On the first occasion, a brigadier traveling from Sarafan to Jerusalem in the car was shot at and a bullet penetrated the bonnet. On the second occasion, the car was hit 3 times, once through the door, once through the window, and once through the petrol tank. Fortunately, there were no passengers and no one was hurt. 2 days later, the car ran into the line of fire, when at Kilo 21, on the same road, a Jewish convoy was engaged by fire from Arabs. Dr. Hussein Khalidi of the Arab Higher Executive told an officer of this headquarters that in his opinion the car had not been attacked by Arabs, as they had been instructed to avoid conflict with the security forces. A phone call received by this headquarters from a person who claimed to be Abdul Qadir el-Husseini denied that Arabs had fired at the GOC's car. Arabs held great respect for the British, and especially the GOC, the speaker claimed. Page 39. Arab League decides on accelerated offensive. Secret. HQ Palestine. Tel 4651, extension 169. GSIM 1. March 12, 48. Fortnightly Intelligence Newsletter Number 63. Issued by HQ British troops in Palestine. For the period 2,359 hours February 25, 2,359 hours March 10, 48. Part 1 Current Affairs. Part 2 Sir Lewis Spears' article Palestine and the United Nations. Arab Affairs. Political. 7. The Arab League's Palestine Committee held a brief meeting in Damascus on March 4 to discuss the Palestine military situation. It is generally believed that as a result of this meeting, the military situation will enter a new stage during the forthcoming weeks, and this will be in the form of increased large-scale operations. In addition, the committee discussed the first aid arrangements for Arab wounded, the construction of field hospitals on the Palestine-Syrian frontiers, and future administrative arrangements for Palestine. After this first session, it was decided to postpone the meeting of the committee indefinitely. 12. The infiltration of the Arab Liberation Army into Palestine continues, particularly in the Ras El Ain area and Jaffa, where the new commander Adil Bey Najineddin, who took over from Abdul Wahab Bey when the latter went to Syria, probably has some 1,500 regulars under his command. The Jaffa, Tel Aviv struggle has already entered a new phase, the Arabs having adopted a plan of attack, as opposed to their former policy of defense. In Jerusalem, too, there are signs of better discipline, and steps have been taken by the local commanders to curb looting. The morale of the population is high owing to the increase in numbers of the National Guard.